confidence is huge because a lot of times when you're going out and you're presenting what you have, I don't care if you're presenting something from stage. I don't care if you're presenting your particular framework. I don't care if you're presenting what your coaching program is. I don't care if you're presenting anything. I don't care if you're talking to a different audience that might not even necessarily be your exact audience. But confidence in business is critical because it's one of the things that you have outside having a great product. One, anytime you're going to anybody to sell, or anytime you want somebody to be able to buy into what you have, outside of you having a great product or service, it's important that they buy you. You ever heard of that? It's important that whoever your audience has to buy into you, your prospects have to buy into, right? They have to buy into you, because I don't care if you have the best product or service in the world. If somebody doesn't believe you, or somebody doesn't trust you, or something just doesn't feel right, you'll still be broke. you still won't make any money, right? So one of the biggest things. So for me, when we're talking about confidence in business, the one of the first things that I would recommend, and one of the things that I did, is get your skills up, right? Get the skills in whatever you do up. Never think that just because you have knowledge in what you do, that is going to be enough to carry you. That's going to be enough to carry you through making your potential client interested in buying what you have, right? You have to be able to constantly be leveling up your skill, right? I have a program that's called the Social Media Movement and Marketing Program, right? And I know social media. I know the different things. I always know it's moving with social media, right? I know the latest things that are happening on IG, Instagram. I'm even leveling up with with TikTok, right? I haven't jumped on it yet, but that doesn't mean I'm not looking. I'm not seeing what's working, right? I'm seeing what people are doing, right? So with that being said, how does it look for me initially saying, okay, all right, I know social media, but then as time goes on, as months go on, as years go on, I'm sticking with it, but people are asking me questions, and I can't tell you what are the latest things that's happening in social media, right? What if I'm just now telling people like, yo, you got to get on IGTV? Somebody gonna be like, yo, dog, like, IGTV been out like almost 2 years now. You know what I'm saying? Like what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So with that, you have to always be leveling up your skill in whatever you're doing. It's always going to be a continual process. It's always going to be you growing. It's always going to be you taking action. It's always going to be you getting better at what you do, because the more that you level up your skill, the more money you're going to make. Okay? So one is just work on your craft. Okay, and that's how you're going to get better. Two is do it more often. It's one thing to say I'm training or I'm getting better, but I'm only doing it once a month, right? You know how it is. Listen, if you work out on a regular basis, or you have ever worked out on a regular basis, or you know somebody, you understand that they have a particular regimen that they have, right? So each and every week they go into the gym, or a couple of days a week they go into the gym, but there's some sort of regularness to it. There's some sort of routine to it. So my question is, what is your routine? And is a routine often enough? If you telling me that once a month you doing a little bit of research, like coming on lives and stuff like this, like it's great. Continue to do this, like, and do it more often. We go live every day, 5 p.m. right, and where you can continue to level up your business, and so make sure that, like, doing stuff like this, but doing more often, not just learning, but also how often are you going and you actually putting in the work to practice. Because you could say that you learning every day or learning every week, but how often are you actually doing it? So this is more of a conversation of frequency. How frequent are you doing? How frequent are you going out and speaking? How frequent are you speaking in front of people? How frequent are you coaching people? You could coach somebody once a month, but I think that the person who coaches every day is going to be the coach that's actually the better coach. You know what I'm saying? So that is really key, is we talking about the frequency of it as well. Okay. Now I'm gonna give you another secret, and this is something else that you will hear a lot of people really talk about, right? In really order to get confident, it's one of the things that you can do and that you actually should do is really teach other people. It's something interesting about when you teach other people that you get confident in it, right? Like you could teach and train. So you could be working on what you do, you could be learning, right? You could be practicing, but how often are you actually teaching other people what you do, right? You could be great at a skill, right? You could be great at a skill, and let's say you want to be great. Let's say you're great at guitar, right? So you getting better at playing songs or whatever, right? So boom, that's actually getting better at the skill that we talked about, right? But then but how often are you getting better at the guitar? Are you doing it once a month? Are you doing it once every 6 months? Or are you doing it once a day, right? So now that's getting better. That's the frequency. But now we're also talking about, okay, well, are you teaching other people how to play guitar, right? It's a different level when you're teaching people what you have, because the difference is that means that you're giving people distinctions and nuances. So anytime that you have knowledge on a subject, particularly you have knowledge on whatever your subject is, right? If you're a speaker or you're a coach, but the more that you teach, the more little nuances you can give people. The more that you teach, you can say, "Oh, you know what? I never really thought about it in that way," or I never really said it like this before. I never really explained it like this before." So the more that you actually are able to speak to it, and you're able to train others on it, the better that you're actually going to get at whatever the skill is that you're doing, right? Like that, like that's the goal, right? So whatever if you're teaching people mindset, or if you're teaching people health, or if you're teaching people how to generate income in business, well, be getting better at what that is, but you got to make sure that you are actually you're training and you're teaching, because the more you do that, the more distinctions you're gonna have. Okay, and the more distinctions you're gonna have, the better teacher and trainer you're gonna become. And over time, what's gonna happen is, as you're getting on these calls, as you're doing the trainings, as you're doing these other things, you're gonna be able to consistently attract people. Okay, so hope you're excited about that, right? Hope you're really excited about that, because this has been like the game changer for me, like over the years, right? Yo, Tony, you got it. Consistency equals growth. You know what I mean? Like that has been really like one of the biggest game changers for me, is just being consistent in what I mentioned earlier, right? What I mentioned, then getting better at the skill, doing it more often, and then training others. And the more frequent that you do it, you're gonna look up. It's gonna be 6 months. You're gonna be like this. You're gonna look up. It's gonna be a year. You're gonna be like this. It's gonna be like, yeah, and people gonna be listening to you like, oh my God, you really like this is what you do for real. And I'm gonna say, yes, it is. Join my program. You know what I mean? And so we all have that ability. So one of the things I'm gonna do is let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and take one question. If you have any question on business, yeah, feel free, right? Feel free. Confidence equal cash is really what the name of this is, right? And the more confidence you have, the more confidence people are gonna have in you. The more you have confidence you have in yourself, they're gonna have confidence in you. And it's that confidence in you that's gonna make them feel confident in wanting to invest in you. And that is specifically what this conversation is. All right. So as you're typing this, go ahead. The first person to ask a question, I'm on IG, I'm on Facebook. Whoever ask a question, go ahead. But let me leave you with this. Who do you really want to become, right? Over time, right? I really want you to think about this. You're jumping in. You're doing this as a business because you want to be able to transform lives, because you want to be able to help people, right? And as you want to be able to help people, understand that your level of growth in terms of you building a business and you helping more people, that's a different person than you are today, right? That's a different person. So my question is, are you stepping into your future self confidently? Because it's going to take another level of dedication. It's going to take another level of commitment. It's going to take a certain level of productivity. It's going to take a certain level of just determination and heart in order for you to become the person that is allowed to impact, let's say, thousands of people, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. Who are you becoming? Who are you becoming? Right? So I want you to think about And I want you to focus on the person that you're becoming on the journey. Because don't think about, well, who am I today to make $5,000 a month in my business. Don't say, who am I today to have thousands and thousands of followers or people online. Who am I today to have hundreds of people in my coaching program. Don't say who am I today. I want you to say to yourself, who do I need to become in order to attract these kind of people? Who do I need to become to have 100,000 people follow me online? Who do I need to become in order to make $10,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month in my business, to make $1 million in my business? Who do I need to become? And I want you to be able to attract. I want you to step into that identity. And this is the key. Step into that identity confidently. And I promise, the more that you step into that identity confidently each and every day, the more you're going to be excited to do the work. And that excitement in doing the work is going to translate to you being able to speak to more people, speak to more leads, speak to more prospects. That's an attractive trait. People are attracted to people who are confident, right? And that's only going to happen by you consistently stepping into your future self so you can attract more people.